Hello, Las Vegas. How you doing today? This is Alfredo with Century 21 Americana. How you guys doing today? I'm pleased to be here. I'm excited to be here. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Alfredo, and I have next to me the lovely lady, my partner in business, Yesenia Alfaro. How you doing, Yesenia?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Um, y- I'm very excited. We actually started this little project a couple months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
We did.
We started launching a little videos here and there, and I know we wanted to do it, and I know that it was something we wanted to share with everybody as far as real estate news.
Yes.
So we came up with this show that's called Real Estate Today, where we're gonna be live every Monday and Wednesday at 12:30. We'll do a 30-hour show, 12:30 to 1 o'clock. That way you can be enjoying your lunch,
Yes.
enjoying your time maybe during your break, and you can check us out. Listen to the information. Now we do have a lot of information that we want to share, but first I wanted Yesenia to introduce herself because I know, and I'm gonna do that myself too. So that way you guys know who we are, where we come from, why do we do this, and get a little bit to know us. So
Of
I'll,
course.
I'll let you go.
Of course. My name is Yesenia Alfaro, and I'm with Residential Mortgage Services, or as other people know as RMS and Associates. I've been in the business for a long, long time. I would say since 2001. I love what I do. I love helping out clients. Every transaction that we work with, we look at it as a different opportunity for somebody to be able to acquire that first-time home property that they're trying to purchase, or a second property, or even refinance into better terms. Where I come from, I'm originally from San Jose, California. My family's from Mexico, and honestly, this is the main reason why I started doing what I do. As you know very well, Alfredo, my parents are immigrants who don't speak any English, and I got tired of people taking advantage of them because they don't understand the language. And unfortunately, that's what happens a lot in our community. So that was my main focus and the main reason why I started doing, being in this industry. When I first started in 2001, I did start in both assisting a loan officer and a real estate agent because I wanted to learn everything from the core. I wanted to know how everything works instead of jumping into being a real estate agent or being a loan officer. I wanted to acquire that knowledge of knowing how everything works to be able to help all of our clients in the right way.
Absolutely, and that's something that me and you share, of course. We want to make sure that our community in Las Vegas, or even outside of Las Vegas, are looking to maybe relocate to the state or to the city, that they have the information that they need in order to make that decision, or an educated decision as far as buying or selling a property here in Las Vegas. Is really, really, really important that we do that. So now you do loans,
I do mortgage loans.
I am a real estate agent. Yes, I am I served in the military. I served in the U.S. Navy back in Operation Iraqi Freedom and during Freedom, and I came to Vegas about 15 years ago, and I've been doing real estate since. Actually, I came here because I was a correctional officer, and I wanted to be a correctional officer here too. But then I had to wait, so I got into real estate. So I decided, by the time I wanted to go back to the Academy for Corrections here in Nevada, I was already at a real estate office, and which happens to be the place that I'm at now.
Yeah.
This is like 15 years ago. I started with this company. Obviously, it was a different name, but now I'm in the same company with a different name.
Same
people,
family.
yeah, same family. So I'm glad to be back. Everything's great. The brand is amazing. I'm with Century 21 Americana, and we do great things. So that I'm very excited about that. But why don't we get down to business?
Of course. Like I said, I've been in this industry for a long, long time, and we're here to share with you guys a lot of the information that it's out there, but it's not really provided for the people that really need it. We pretty much like to work with all of our clients. Helping them with down payment assistance is a must for the majority of our clients. All the people in our culture, the majority of the time, that's what they're seeking. They're seeking for assistance. They're seeking guidance. They're seeking for you to hold them hand in hand until the whole transaction is done. And that's pretty much what we offer to all of our clients here. We work with our clients from beginning to end. If they do need to work on credit, that we coach them through the system that we pull credit. It gives us this incentive to be able to provide them of different options of what they need to work on their credit to be able to be credit worthy, to be able to purchase a home. I know that a lot of clients sometimes are impatient, Alfredo, and want to buy a property, just because they have the minimal credit requirement. But once you actually sit with the client and explain to them, look, if you purchase a house now with this credit score, this is what you're going to get. If you wait a month or 45 days and do what I'm telling you, this is what you're going to get. So I think it's very important to provide the client with options so that honestly they can make the right or the educated decision as far as how they want to proceed, instead of jumping into something just because all they know is that they want to buy a property. That's the mentality that they have at that moment, is I want to get into a home, without even taking into consideration everything else that they need to look into and get educated on before they decide to move forward.
Right, real estate is a really, really interesting word. Obviously, not everybody can do it, that's for sure, just like any other jobs. But, real estate is really, really dedication. You have to care for what you do. Yes. You got to be passionate, because it's not about you. It's about the person that you're trying to help, and it's about the client that you want for the rest of your life, right?
Exactly.
You want to be able to provide the service that they need, which is, find a real estate property where they can live, whether it's a condo, a townhome, manufactured homes, fourplexes, even commercial. We have commercial in our company, agents that do commercial. So whatever the case might be, that's what we do. And we want to make sure that, we, I guess, we're the bridge for that dream, right?
Exactly.
I mean, first, you want to get a house, you don't know how to do it. Obviously, you contact an agent, get the information, and then the next step is find the perfect home. And that's what we're here.
Now, of course, let's not kid ourselves, let's not lie. We all do this, what we do for a living, because we need the money. This is how we support our families. But at the end of the day, I think that when it comes to each transaction individually, you need to put the client first. You need to make sure that you are looking for the client's best interest. You need to make sure that you exhaust all the possibilities or all the options that the clients have, at least on our end, when they're doing the loan application or qualifying for the home loan. We at our office do work with all the down payment assistance programs. We work with the culinary. We work with the HIP program, the new HIP for some homebuyer program, the WISH program. Any programs that come out there, we like to stay on top of these programs to be able to help our clients. Actually, I'm not sure if you know this already or not, but there has been a lot of talk in the past about the Shinoa funds. They were going back and forth battling with FHA, trying to be able to, continue offering these loan programs to the clients. And it looks like they have won the battle. So it looks like they are, I'm not sure if it's 100% official, but I did get a newsletter from my office today that it looks like they have won the battle, and they're going to be able to continue helping clients with the program of the Shinoa funds.
That's good. And then down payment assistance programs are very popular right now.
Yes.
Everybody's trying to get one, because why? Okay, so you got down payment assistance programs that are available, which will give you money for the purchase of your home for your down payment and or closing costs. But then again, you got sellers that are willing to contribute towards closing costs.
Yes.
So not only are you getting your down payment assistance, so that means you're coming in with nothing on your down payment, but you're also getting help from a seller, which potentially could come down to using $1,000, $2,000, maybe $3,000 at the most, if that scenario happens to apply, right? Yeah. So now, is it a good time to buy?
And you know what?
It's the main question.
And that is always a question. Is it a good time to buy? A lot of clients always ask us that. Is it a good time to buy? And I think it's a good time to buy if you're ready. Every situation is different. Every client is different. Now, if you're out there renting and paying rent, then definitely it is a great time for you to buy. Why are you paying someone else's mortgage when you could actually be applying that towards something that's for you and for your family? So yes, I would say it is a great time to buy. Also, if there's people out there that want to invest, it is also a great time to buy another property. A lot of people purchased a house that they weren't 100% satisfied with at the moment, because that is all that they could afford or qualify for at that time. So now would be a great time with the property that you have. If you have enough equity, why not sell that property and use that equity to purchase another property, or maybe even purchase two properties, because there's a lot of clients that do have a lot of equity in their homes
Right.
today. So they could either sell that property and buy another property to move into, use all that equity so that you could keep a low monthly payment, or you could sell that property, buy another property to live in, and a secondary property to invest. Or if they simply just want to keep that property and buy another property because they want to invest that way as
Right.
well, there's a lot of different ways for a file to be structured. There's a lot of different ways, to benefit the client versus primary home versus an investment property or a vacation home. It's just a matter of knowing your client's situation and knowing how to make that situation work in their benefit.
Now, I do, before we get any further, I do want to give a shout out to Victor
Yes.
Vasquez from Stewart Title. If you notice, we're using the
Vic V?
the Vic V back here. We got Nikki Bott over here with our little, and then we had to move a big billboard of them here because they had it here, and I'm sure you'll see it Thursday. But we call, and I told them, can we use the title and escrow Unscripted Studios, because this is what it is. Victor Vasquez has a show on Thursdays at noon, which is Title and Escrow Unscripted, and we'll be sharing that information as well, so you can see it. It's very interesting what agents, their stories, and this is
Yes.
what he focuses on,
Yeah.
their stories, and what do we do to get here, or a lot of questions that you should see. Is really fun.
It is.
Because there's no scripts. It's just a conversation with people that come here. So see that on Thursdays at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Escrow and Ninja. Title is, what is it called? Ninja?
I think it's Title and Escrow Unscripted.
We'll bring him one of these days so you can, yeah.
It's Title and Escrow Unscripted. It is a great show, and that's right. Thanks, Victor, for allowing us to use your studio.
Yes, thank you.
Victor is not only a great partner that we work with, but he is also a great friend. I've known him for very, very many years. He started in this business very young, even younger than
We
us.
should put a picture of him with the little hat backwards and then the old Mac, remember? We're gonna share that one day.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, honestly, Alfredo, you know how it is. You have to love what you do, and you have to be passionate about what you do to be able to do a good job and to perform a great service for your clients.
Yes.
So I think that's the main reason why we're both here. Now, I shared the reason why I started this, and I haven't heard your reasoning.
Mine, is very simple. I was, like I said, I was a correctional officer. I came to Vegas for that. And, in the meantime, I found a job at this, real estate office, and I'm going to say with Juan Martinez back in the days, who's my broker, owner of Century 21 Americana. And then at that time, we were at Remax Advantage
Okay.
back in Henderson. And I started with him. I started doing clerical work. I mean, you can literally say I went from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much done, I think, every position in real estate. I was a listing coordinator, there was an escrow coordinator, then I went into sales, then I went into managing, and so on, and going from helping offices grow their business and stuff.
Yeah.
Is just, at the beginning it was just a job. I mean, because that's what I did. I had nothing to do with the client or anything. But then it just became a passion. It just, just by looking and hearing everything I was hearing, it was like, well, wait a minute, this is very interesting. Because, I used to be in a correctional facility 8 hours out of my day, risking my life. And, to all the correctional officers, we appreciate everything you do. I know how stressful it could be.
Yeah.
And at that point, I decided, you know what? When it was time for me to go to the academy, whether I did, it was like, I don't want to. I mean, I learned something new.
That you like.
Yeah, that I liked, and I was getting into it, so it was more exciting. As I was learning a little bit more, so that's what actually got me to keep doing this. Yeah, to motivate myself to get my license and start doing all this other stuff. So
But that's very important, though. We do, even though Fred and I have known each other also for a long time, and we're also great friends. We have a very similar story,
Yes.
which is great. I do believe that when you start from the bottom, like you said, from the bottom up, and you learn all the positions and you learn everything, I do believe that it gives you an advantage to be able to help the clients,
Right.
even more. Like, for example, you mentioned your story, and just like I said earlier, when I started in this industry, I started being the assistant of a loan officer and a real estate agent at the same time because I wanted to learn both sides because I wasn't quite sure which of the two I was going to, enjoy more, okay?
Right.
So not only that, after I decided, I like the lending side, more because I love working with numbers, and it kind of fit my background, which I did accounting before I started working in this industry.
Well, that makes
And
sense. You got all the numbers.
and so I loved it, but again, I didn't want to jump into being a loan officer right away. I wanted to learn everything that could impact and affect the business. So I went from being an assistant to a loan officer and a realtor. And then after that, I actually became a loan processor because I wanted to learn exactly what are these underwriters looking for? What can jeopardize a transaction from getting done? So I started processing for a few years. And once I felt that I was ready to move on, then I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm ready. I feel like I've learned what I need to learn to be able to become a loan officer. And luckily for me, I've been able to use the practice that I have as a processor and an assistant to be able to make these transactions work and go through because, let's be honest, a lot of these files end up being challenging files. It's like a puzzle that we have to put together to be able to make it work.
Exactly, and that's what we do. We solve problems. We put everything together in pieces to try to make it work. Now, obviously, you more than me, from what I heard several times, and we'll tell you that story later. But that's what we do. We want to make sure that every client gets an experience, a unique experience. That's one. Two, I'll be honest with you. I've known Yesenia for some time. I work with many lenders, but Yesenia is by far, I think, it's really hard that an agent will say, well, I never had a file fall through. Or they will say it, or we will say it, they will say it because they want to look good, or whatever the case might be. But in this situation, I can tell you with, true honesty, I have never had a file fall through for reasons that were to you or your staff, right? Yeah. Now, there's circumstances that happen with, buyers did something they shouldn't have done. Yeah. And even though some cases we were able to resolve those issues,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So we always look for the best option. We always look to the best way to serve the client. And that's why also we wanted to do this, to make sure that we serve our clients to the best way with the knowledge that we have and share it with them, right?
Correct. That is correct.
That's what we're here for. So why don't we get to real estate a little bit here? So we got about 15 minutes. If you guys have any questions on Facebook, let us know. Send us a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Or Yesenia, we can share that with you. But talking about real estate, today I actually did a little video this morning about the appreciation for the month of July. Okay. Now I looked at the numbers. The report came out, and what I've noticed is something very interesting that I haven't seen in some time. So we had only 4 zip codes that went up in appreciation compared to last year with double digits. Only 4. But at the same time, we had 4 that went down with double digits. Not only that, but I saw a lot of more zip codes with a negative appreciation rather than a positive. Mm-hmm. And if you wonder what zip codes are, we'll talk about that. If you wonder a specific zip code that you might want to find out if the value is good or not, let me know. Send me the information, and I'll be more than happy to look that for you to see if it went up or down. I'll give you the numbers on that. But just to get a little of an idea of which those are, here I'll tell you right now. So the ones that went up, it's 89030. So you got 89030 that went up 17% in appreciation compared to last year. Mm-hmm. 17%. That's one of the 4 that I mentioned. Then you have 89005, which is really down south, on the east side, south and the east side. That actually went up 11%. Then you had 89102 that went up 12%. And 89118 that went up 11% compared to last year. Now, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's a lot of different factors, and of course, everybody's going to view this information completely differently.
Right, of course.
A lot of people, might look at it, so don't take it the wrong way. We are not by any way trying to, steer anybody towards certain zip codes or away from certain zip codes. We are just providing you with the information so that you know and you have the knowledge if you are in the market right now to purchase a property, or if you're in the market, trying to sell your property. This is very valuable information for you to take in consideration before you make that decision.
It is. Now, obviously, I got all the zip codes, but let me know if you want a specific zip code. I can definitely give you that information. I'm just going based on this because it's interesting. Now, you got 89119 that went down 11%. Then you have 89156 that also went down 10%. Which was the other one? Then you had 89169 went down 12%. And which is interesting because a couple months ago, this one went up like more than 10%. So that's something really interesting that we got to check it out there. So to see why. And 89138, which is up in the west side, 89138 went down 10%. Now, is that good or bad? Now, depending on where you're at, now if you're in one of the zip codes where the value went down, now obviously we have to look at why.
Exactly.
Now, this is just single family. This is not counting townhomes, condos. So this is just single family
homes.
Right, not manufactured homes. This is single family homes. But what was interesting was there was only 4 double digits up and down, only 4 and 4.
Exactly. Even.
And I did see a lot of more, 1, 2, 3 percentages, and then some -1, -6, -4 that are on there. They're interested to see. But if you want this report, let me know. I'll be more than happy to, provide you with a copy or the information that you need in order to make your decision that you want.
Now, what would you tell a client today? Let's say a client is in one of the zip codes that's going down in today's market. What if that client comes to you saying, I want to sell this property, or even if they came saying, I want to buy in that area, what would be your advice for somebody like that?
Well, it depends. Obviously, it depends which area. It depends what their plans are. It depends why they're selling or why they're purchasing. There's a lot of factors. Now, we do have to look at the prior months. Yes. Obviously, the market shifts, during the summer, so these numbers might look a little bit different next month.
Exactly.
For sure. So that's also a factor. And that's why when we sit with the client, we want to make sure that we give them the best answer depending on their situation. And not only one report, but then we got to look at a few reports to make sure that we got the right information so we can give it to the client.
Yes.
Now, obviously, the information that we're giving out today is based on this report, but we can go more in detail if you want. You can always send us a message, give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to discuss that.
And that's one of the things that I actually like about Alfredo. Again, just like you mentioned, I also myself work with a lot of different real estate agents, but I do have to say, I love that you are always seeking the knowledge. You're always looking to learn,
of course, trying.
And you're always analyzing everything before you, give the clients the information. A lot of times, being a realtor, being a loan officer, you do your job to the best of what you consider that it can be done, but there are a couple of shining stars that do stand out beyond all the other agents and all the other lenders. And that's one of the things that I like about you, Alfredo. Like I said, you are constantly learning, constantly looking at different things, analyzing the reports, analyzing the new systems. So that's a great thing. You always want to make sure that you have someone in your corner that knows what's going on with the market today, just like our show says, real estate today. Not someone that, is just sticking to what they've learned initially when they got their license, but it has to be, it's important to make sure that the person that's right there next to you, because this is a great investment. Maybe or possibly the biggest investment that you'll make in your life.
Of course.
So you do want to make sure that you have someone that is up to date with accurate information to be able to guide you in that right direction.
Absolutely, and that's why we call it real estate today, like you mentioned, because we want to make sure we give you the information, because real estate changes every day, to be honest with you. And some people don't realize, but everything that happens overseas may affect what we do here in the States. So it's very important that we keep up with, other countries, other cities as well, to see how that's going. I was reading a newspaper article that came out that said that some company in California is incentivizing clients to move to Vegas. It was like a rental company. I couldn't remember because it was cheaper.
Yes.
Now, that is also important to know because we do have a lot of migration from California to Nevada.
A lot of surrounding places.
Yes. So, that's information that you want to know as well, because there's a lot of rental going on too.
Yes.
Investment wise, it could be a good option. So, like I said, there's a lot of information that we will be sharing throughout those episodes, and hopefully you'll stay tuned and keep watching and sharing the video, because, obviously we want as many people as we can to be informed.
Exactly.
Now, that was appreciation for July compared to last year, but we also have the single family home inventory report that came out. Now, we finished the last month with 12,000 properties, a little bit over 12,000 properties in the market. More than we wanted to, I guess.
Yes. Yes. I mean, we
and-
have a lot of inventory at the
Yes,
moment,
yes.
which is it's a great position for buyers. When you have a lot of
It is, of
inventory, it's
course.
a great position for buyers to be in. You have plenty of room, plenty of space to negotiate. And like you mentioned when we started the program today, it's a great market for buyers because they're able to take advantage of down payment assistance programs, and they're able to take advantage of the sellers helping with closing costs. So we do have a lot of clients at this moment that are coming in with $2,000, $3,000 to purchase a property, and we even have some clients receiving their earnest money deposit back, because between the assistance and the seller's contribution, they literally come in with no money out of pocket.
Of course, and that's, obviously right now with everything that's going on, everybody's taking advantage of these programs. Everybody's taking advantage of sellers contributing. So it does, and I'm going to say it does whack the numbers up.
It does.
Because, it's something different. Now, just so you know, single family wise, meaning a house, not a townhome or a condo, just a median price for the month of July was $324.
Yeah.
Now, that's not the median price for the whole valley with everything on. Obviously, I think that stuck at $303.
Yeah.
It actually went down like $1,000, but for the month it was $324. Now, something interesting too, more than half of the properties that got sold for the month of July lasted less than 30 days, which is something newer, because if you think about months before, let's say June, I don't think June, but
May.
April, May, and those months, it was more than 30 days.
Yeah.
So now that number's picking up, which is good, because that's what we wanted to. So yeah, more than half of the, 57% or 58% of the properties that sold, which was about 3,500, it was 4,200 properties, they lasted only about less than 30 days in the market.
Which is great for the sellers.
It is.
So again, if you're a seller and you're trying to sell your property at this moment, these numbers are for you to take in consideration, because you're right. A few months back, we were seeing properties in the market for, a good,
60 days,
60
yeah.
days plus, or
30 plus at least, that's for sure.
And it was kind of scary for some of the sellers out there, because their intentions were to sell and buy, but that kind of set them back, because they weren't able to sell the property to be able to purchase the property that they wanted.
And now for July, only 15% or 14% of those properties lasted between 30 and 60, which is a good number.
It's a great number.
Yeah, we want to bring that down, but obviously it's still good. I mean, more than 50% is better than anything. So we will be here Mondays and Wednesdays at 12:30 live. I'll be more than happy if you guys join, if you guys share the video, make sure everybody knows that we're going to be here, so we can share more information about real estate. Today, I just want to do this real quick, introduce Yesenia, introduce myself, because I want you guys to know us, to know what we do.
Yes.
Okay? So if you do have any questions, they can call you, right?
Correct. If you guys have any questions, you guys could call my office at 702-310-6396.
Yeah, or you can call myself, 702-789-9328. Send me a text, send me a message. I'll be more than happy to help you in anything you need. I'm sure Yesenia will as well.
Exactly.
If you want to share the video, please share it. We'll be more than happy if you guys do it, and really appreciate that. And we'll be live again
On
Wednesday.
And if you guys, if you mentioned, if you guys have any questions, you guys can continue to ask the questions on Facebook, and we will respond to all your questions.
Absolutely. So have a good day, guys, and then we'll see you again Wednesday. And thank you for watching.
Have a productive week.